Hi guys! So a lot of you have asked for my go-to bronze Smokey Eye girls night out look. I have nothing better to do since we're all quarantined at home. So I decided to put on a nice shirt. I even put on earrings for you guys and for my sanity. And I just wanted to do a fun makeup look for you guys because I got nothing better to do. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. And if you want to see how to get this look, just keep watching. Okay, so first thing I like to do is clean my skin of any extra dirt or nastiness I may have on my skin. My face is washed, and my hands are washed. I made sure I washed my hands before. I am touching my skin, so I am just using the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water, and I just took a cotton round and I'm just gonna clean my face real quick. Okay, and next what I like to do is I personally like to go in with a moisturizer. I actually don't use face primer, especially for normal to dry skin types. I find that they really just need a good hydrating moisturizer. If you have an oily skin type, I would recommend something like the Hourglass Veil Primer. It's really nice just to, it helps control your oils and make your makeup stay in place. But for right now, I am going in with the e.l.f. Super Hydrate moisturizer. It looks like this. It is really nice. I personally like the Neutrogena Hydro, what is it called? Hydro Boost Moisturizer. I really like that one, but I'm out of it and I decided to try something new, but I kind of regret it. Not that this is a good moisturizer, but I miss my Neutrogena moisturizer, so I highly recommend both. The e.l.f. one is just a little bit cheaper, but either way, you can get them at your drugstore. Okay, and then I also like moisturizing my lips before I put anything on my face, just to make sure they're not crusty. This is the Lush Lip Service Lip Balm. It just comes in like a pot like this. I really like it. I put it on every night before I go to bed, and it really helps my lips. Okay, so I am going to do the eyes first. And I'm first going to go with concealer. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. And I am using the shade Fair because I am very pale right now. I'm just going to take this on my eyes. I like using concealer for primer. It just helps cancel out any redness or any veins that I may have on my eyes. So I'm just gonna blend this out on my eyes. I don't have oily eyelids. I have pretty normal eyelids, so I don't deal with creasing a whole lot. If you do have oily eyelids, I highly recommend the Smashbox primer. That one is really nice. And I'm just gonna set my eyes, my concealer, with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in Fair. Okay, so the palette I'm going to be using, not that it's a surprise, is the ColourPop Going Coconuts palette. It is literally the most perfect neutral palette I've ever used in my whole entire life, and it's affordable. I use it a lot. I can't stop using it. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's amazing. If you don't have it, you need it. There's not one color that I don't get any use out of. It's just such a great palette. So I am going to take the shade Lovely Bunch. It's this one right here. And I'm just going to blend that into the crease. And I'm not a very precise person when it comes to crease shadows. I kind of just slap it on and just hope for the best. I know, I'm very professional. But yeah, you just kind of do swirly motions and windshield wiper motions. And then once I don't have as much product on my brush, I kind of start blending it up a little bit. I have a mirror off to the side, so if you see me looking that way, that's why. And I'm just going to build that color up just a little bit and do the same thing, just windshield wiper motions and a little bit of swirls. Okay, next I am going to take the shade Culotta. This is literally my most favorite brown shade that I have ever used. It is the perfect brown. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, it's just the most perfect neutral brown. Same thing with Culotta as I did Lovely Bunch. I'm just gonna work it into my crease. All right, next I am going to take my finger and go in with the shade De Coco. It's this most beautiful, just brown shimmer. Oh my gosh, and it's so pigmented, you guys. Look at that. I'm just gonna take that on my finger and put it on my lid. I always use my finger when it comes to my lid shades. I just feel like they give out the most pigment. Just looks really good and really nice. Okay, once I have that shimmer shade down, I am going to go in with Get Crackin'. And this is a Sigma Blending E25 brush. I forgot to tell you what the other one was. I used, for my crease, I used that Elfie Fluffy Eye Blender brush. It's like $3 and it's literally my favorite blending brush I've ever used. You guys, e.l.f. brushes are so good. So I'm just gonna take that Get Crackin' shade on my brush. And I'm just gonna start packing that on the outer V. And then once I have most of that pigment on my eye and off my brush, I'm going to start dragging it into the crease. And I'm gonna build up that color. Just like that. I am going to go into the shade Nutty, and I'm kind of just going to do the same exact thing as I did with Get Crackin'. I'm just going to continue to deepen up that outer V just so it looks more sultry and smoky. You never want to go in right away with a dark brown. You always want to start with the lighter shades first and gradually get darker as you go, just so it's that way you'll get more of a seamless look. It's just easier that way. Also, let's see how many times I can say in this video. Someone count and tell me how many times I said Okay, now I'm just gonna go back into that shimmer shade. I feel like I lost a little bit of pigment when I added those other shades, so I'm just gonna go back and add just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna take that E25 brush and just kind of blend the edges with nothing more on my brush. I didn't add any more shadow. I'm just gonna blend. The key to a seamless eye is blending. When you think you've blended enough, blend a little more. And on my finger, I am going to take the shade Shredded, it's this shade, and I'm just gonna pop that under my brow bone. My brows are atrocious right now because I haven't done them. I just have not had the patience or energy, or I just really don't care about my brows right now. I'm such a great makeup artist. Okay, so we are gonna pause on the eyes right now and move on to the skin. I'm just gonna take another cotton round and some micellar water, and I'm gonna clean up any fallout that I may have had from the eyeshadow. That is actually why I like doing the eyes first when I do a heavy shadow look like this. It's just a lot easier to clean up when you don't have eyeshadow or when you don't have foundation on your skin. I don't have to worry about rubbing off any foundation or concealer. All right, so for foundation, I am going to use the L'Oreal Fresh Wear Foundation in the shade 420. This foundation is so nice, you guys. It reminds me a lot of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, which is actually what I use on my clients. It's a really nice drugstore alternative. I'm just gonna take like a pump and a half on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna start dotting it on my face. And I do have a lovely pesky zit that has come. All right, and I am going to use a brush to blend this out. This is the It Cosmetics, oh gosh, it's all rubbed off. I think it's called like the airbrush brush or something like that. It's from It Cosmetics. It looks like this. I actually got it free with my It Cosmetics CC cream that they have out, which is really nice because their brushes are really nice, but they are pricey. So I'm just gonna blend this out. When I use a brush, I like to use patting motions instead of swiping it because I feel like it helps really press in the foundation into the skin. Just looks more natural and you get more coverage when you pounce it in. I do like using beauty blenders as well. It just depends on the day and what I feel like using. The beauty blender helps sheer out coverage, which is nice. So if you have more of a fuller coverage foundation, it is nice to use a beauty blender. This foundation is it has a medium coverage, but it is buildable. So if you want a full coverage look, you can definitely do a second layer. I usually just do one layer and then I'll take concealer to whatever problem areas that I have on my skin. I have a lot of redness right here, and then of course this lovely zit. I'll just go in with concealer and conceal those areas. Okay, so I'm going to take the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind again, and I'm just gonna place it right under my eyes like that, around my nose, down my nose because my nose, I'm like Rudolph. My nose is always red. Doesn't matter if I'm hot, doesn't matter if I'm cold, if I'm comfortable. It's always red. I'm just going to take it right here on my blemish. And I don't put any concealer on my forehead. I don't find it necessary. I just feel like it just makes it look even heavier than what it needs to be. So I just leave it alone. I'm going to take my Morphe G2 brush. I'm pretty sure this brush is discontinued, which makes me really sad because this is my favorite brush to blend out concealer. I'm gonna blend out the concealer on my nose and around my nose. And I've actually really been liking using my finger for blending out my under eye concealer. I feel like the warmth of my finger really helps melt the product into my skin. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. It does take a little bit more time, so if you're short on time, then use a brush or a beauty blender. Alright, so once I have most of it blended out, I kind of just go with my brush and make sure there's no streaking, everything's just blended. Oh, I forgot my zit. So what I like to do when I have blemishes is I'll kind of blend around the blemish, so most of the pigment is still on the blemish. I'll just blend around it, and of course you're still gonna see it because there's texture. You can't really hide texture completely, so I'm just gonna blend around it. Okay, next I am going to take the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Powder in the shade Fair, and I'm just gonna set my T-zone. I don't really like setting my whole face. I don't find it necessary for myself to set my whole face. I just like to set my T-zone, which is, you know, down here and under the eyes. And set that zit. Around my nose. Next, I am going to use the number 7 bronzer in Caramel. I'm going to take this e.l.f. complexion brush. It's just a fluffy brush, but I like it because it's thin, it's tapered, but still fluffy, so you're not going to get any harsh lines. And I'm just going to take some. And when you're doing bronzer or contour, I don't really ever contour my face. I usually just bronze it. You kind of want to start from like your ear. So take like your makeup brush. That's kind of the line you want to start at. And I like to bronze up to here. If you pull it in a little bit too far, your face is going to start looking really muddy, and it's not going to make your face look slimming, which is the whole point of contouring and bronzing up the face. So I'm just going to take it. Do that. Then I like to do the forehead as well. Just make sure everything's connected. And then I do like to drag it on my neck a little bit. Down my neck because my neck is so pale. Sometimes I feel like my neck is more pale than my actual face. And then I like to kind of pinch my brush, and just take it down the nose. I don't really do any precise contouring with my nose unless I'm doing like a bridal look or something super full glam like that. I just kind of slap it on just so everything is cohesive. I'm going to take the Milani Baked Blush in Petal Primavera. It looks like this. It's just the most perfect neutral pink blush. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. It literally goes with everything. And this is my Morphe E4 brush. I'm just gonna take that and smile, do apples of my cheeks, and then just kind of drag it up. This blush and all of the Milani blushes just give your cheeks such a healthy glow. I love them so much, and they're so affordable. I also like the shade Luminoso. It's more of like a peachy pinky blush. It's so nice for the summertime. Okay, next I am going to go in with highlight, and I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight. It just looks like that. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna take my brush. This is another e.l.f. brush. I use a lot of e.l.f. brushes. I've had them for forever, and they've lasted me for a long time, and they're super cheap. So this is the small tapered brush. Just gonna take that and just pop right there on the high points of my cheeks. And then I'm also going to take some above my brow, kind of make a C shape. I like to take some a little bit along my nose and a little bit on my cupid's bow. And then I'm going to use my pinky finger, and I'm just going to take some on my brow bone as well. As well as my inner corners. I love a glowy inner corner. I feel like it makes you look super awake, and your eyes just appear a lot bigger when you have that inner corner glow. Okay, so I'm going to finish off the eyes right now. I am going to take my ColourPop Cream Gel Eyeliner in Swerve. It's just a black liner. And I am going to really smudge that on the outer corner of my lid. So I'm not going to be super precise because we're going to go in with this tiny smudger from Real Techniques. I don't know what this brush is called, but it's just a tiny smudger brush. I think it comes with like 2 or 3 other eyeshadow brushes, and I'm pretty sure they still sell this at Ulta and in other drugstores. So I'm just going to, this might be really hard to do on camera, but I'm going to try. I am going to start smudging it on the outer corner, like that. And then I'm going to take my little smudger brush and just start doing little back and forth motions. Like that. It just creates so much more depth. See the difference between this eye and that eye? It makes like such a huge difference in my opinion. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I am going to take the shades Lovely Bunch and Culotta. I'm just gonna mix them together, just like that. And I'm just gonna start smudging it along my lower lash line. I am going to take the shade Get Crackin', the shade right here, and I'm just going to do the same thing. This also is a Morphe E18 brush. I'm going to focus the darker color really more so on the outer edge, and then once I have most of that product off my brush, I'm going to start blending it in. Alright, and I'm going to take that shimmer shade on my pinky again, because I forgot to bring out a flat shader brush to do this, but your pinky will work. I'm just going to drag that in the inner corner of my eyes, just that like inner third. Like that. So real quick, I'm just going to curl my lashes and put on the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. This mascara, you guys, is so nice. It is a really good volumizing mascara, so if that's what you're looking for, I highly recommend it. I'm just going to do 2 coats of this mascara. Alright, and I'm just going to do the lower lash line real quick. Seriously, look how nice that mascara is. I'm really sad I'm not going anywhere today. Okay, so for brows, I naturally have very thick and bushy brows. Thankful to be Italian. So I don't really do much to my own brows. I really just fill in any sparse areas that I have. What I like to do, I have a lot of sparse areas up on top, so I kind of like to brush my brow hair down. Don't judge, I need to trim them. So I kind of just brush them down and just take a brush and kind of just do small strokes with a very light hand. I like pencils because I just feel like they're more natural than like a pomade or something like that. So just short, light strokes, and then I'll just take the spoolie and kind of blend it out. Kind of just do short, light strokes on like the end of my brows as well. Like that. And now I'm just going to take my Anastasia my clear brow gel, and I'm just going to brush through my brows with this. This just helps your brows stay in place, especially if you have long brows, long brow hair like mine. Alright, you guys, we're almost done. Okay, so for lips, I am going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk liner, which is not sharpened. I should have sharpened that. But I'm just going to line my lips. Actually, I'm just going to fill them in with this liner. This shade is very close to my natural lip color. I love the Pillow Talk line. If anyone knows me, they know I am obsessed with Charlotte Tilbury. So obsessed. I just want everything, but it's so expensive. And then I'm going to take the ColourPop lipstick in What's Your Sign. This is the cream luxe lipstick. I'm just going to pop that on my lips. And I think I kind of want something more glossy. So, you know, I'm going to take my e.l.f. lip gloss. It looks like this. And it is in the shade Mocha Kiss. These smell like cupcakes. They're so good. I'm just gonna place it more so in like the pouty parts of my lips, so like the inner parts of my lips. The center. That's the word I'm looking for. Center. Ugh. Okay, and lastly, I am going to take my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I'm just going to spray my face. And then after I spray, I kind of like to take my damp beauty blender and kind of just run it over my face just to make everything melt. Like that. Alright, you guys, and this is the finished look. This is my go-to bronzy smoky eye. I really hope you like this video. I've never done a video before and I was really awkward in this video, but let me know if you guys want to see any other looks. My story that I posted different look options on, a lot of people also voted for bridal look and simple everyday look. So if you guys want to see either of those looks or both of those looks, I'm gonna have plenty of time on my hands. So comment down below and let me know if you want to see either of those looks. All right, thank you guys for watching. Bye.